We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Let your imagination soar with Audible. With stories across every genre, from expert advice to fantasy, you'll be inspired to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. Listening can even lead to a positive change in your mood, habits, and overall well-being. As an Audible member, you'll get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including bestsellers and new releases. Allow yourself to delve into the spooky this season by listening to classics like Stephen King's The Shining and Pet Sematary. There's more to imagine when you listen. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500.
Anthony Edwards, he could sell me anything. Like he's so confident about everything. There was a video that the Timberwolves put on social media today to like promote the game that's about to tip off, where he's doing some like photo shoot for them where he's wearing like a Minnesota Vikings jersey, and people are just like joking around. They're like, "Oh, like you think you could play football? Like you think you could?" And he was like, "I could play safety. Like I could tackle someone." And so I was like, "Oh, you think you could tackle a football player?" And Anthony Edwards was like, "No, Derrick Henry." Like he called his shot. Like he's like, that's the guy I want to tackle. Just I love how confident he is. I've never seen someone more confident.
Commish, do you remember the show Pros vs. Joes?
Yes.
Okay. Beth, do you remember that show?
The first season was won by a local teacher who I know.
Okay.
Oh.
I'd forgotten about it until someone mentioned it in the timeline. I remember it was great because you could just see how athletic athletes are, but also how unathletic pitchers are sometimes. I just remember pitchers on there being like, "Oh no, they're just slow dudes. They throw the ball very fast. It's fine."
Mm-hmm.
I also had forgotten that the announcer was Petros for like the first 4 seasons. I had totally blocked that out.
Yep.
I don't remember that show. I do remember Shaq Versus, where Shaq was just the like, I don't want to say average guy because he's obviously not average in any way, but it was just Shaq, and then they'd have like the pro people come on. I need that revived with Anthony Edwards. At the Paris Olympics this year, he said they were just talking about like what sports can you do, and he was just like, yeah, like I bet I could do table tennis. Like I bet I could do it. Like he was just like, yep, I could do it. Like I want to see that confidence get tested.
I want to see him try men's gymnastics.
He's very athletic. Like I don't know that he would be able to do it, obviously with zero training, but like he would get airtime.
One of my favorite things about Pros versus Joes is that they would give a handicap to the pro in whatever they were doing. So one of my favorites was when they had a free throw shooting competition between Dennis Rodman and the Joes, and Dennis Rodman had to shoot all of his free throws while running on a treadmill and still destroyed them. But my single favorite one was when they had the Joes get tackled by Bill Romanowski. And the way that they did it is they had them run out from behind a series of walls. There were 3 exits out of the walls, and the Joe just had to get a first down. They had to make it 10 yards without getting killed by Bill Romanowski. And they couldn't tell which wall he was going to come out of. And Romanowski had very little time to react to which way the person is coming from because he can't see them. And he just destroyed people. Oh my God, it was so much fun. I love that show.
That's a show that
It's
definitely
my
needs a
plea to
revival.
please bring back Pros versus Joes.
Give me 1 second. My camera's being weird.
Jordan, have you tried showering with your webcam camera? Because
Maybe
that
that
might fix it.
Maybe
Not
that'll
for
help.
free. Not for free.
No.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans, folks.
Oh.
For a close up of
Hogs
the
Plus.
best dad sticker
Hogs
on
Plus with Jordan.
Jordan's wall.
Come on. I don't know.
Your
why-
hand is nice and sharp.
I know. You can see every crease in my hand.
Yeah.
I'm not showing you my nails because my nails are awful.
Gonna give you like a palm reading here, Jordan.
Okay, well, fuck it. I'm gonna have to try again in a bit. Maybe it's this. Is this doing it? Why is my camera being so?
It's a nice ceiling fan.
It is a nice ceiling fan.
Ooh,
Textured
we got
walls.
some nice wall.
Okay, that's
What's
better.
better?
Hey, there you
The
are.
ceiling fan centered it.
Great. Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of October 22nd,
No,
2024.
You wish,
linear time
Maryland.
was a mistake.
To give you an idea about what's going on right now as we're recording this, there are two Conference USA games on that are both 7-7 in the third and fourth quarters, respectively. The FIU-Sam Houston game has been an absolute slog. FIU is on their fourth string quarterback,
Yes.
a man by the name of Caden
Peary.
Perry.
Yes.
And Sam Houston's on their second string, and Sam Houston's kicker has the flu.
Yes.
Oh no.
So he's missed several. He doinked one, but missed several.
Yes.
I was not able to observe the FIU game for the most part. Can someone please explain to me how we ended up on the fourth string quarterback?
They were already on the third.
The
Okay.
third started
Going into the
today.
game.
1
Yeah.
and 2 got hurt. 3 and 3 went out because he wasn't doing well. Now we're on 4.
Okay.
Where
Four
is-
had 4 threw his first FBS pass in history in the first half tonight.
Where
Oh,
is
good for him.
Pitbull on the depth chart?
The Pitbull is not there. There is an impersonator by the name of Pitt Bill.
Does Pitbull have his eligibility?
I don't think
I
he ever went to
think
college.
so.
I think so.
I think so. I think he's still eligible.
Also, Pitbull is clearly number 305.
Not.
Candy Lover sang the national anthem tonight. I assume
was a
she's part of the Pitbull stable of artists.
Just presented by Pitbull. That's what it said underneath that on the tweet.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Folks, as always, I'm Jordan. With me tonight, I have Commish, Beth, Pitt Girl, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Commish, before I ask you how you are, you listened to the
Yeah.
last podcast when it was just the morons. Don't use cut that, actually. Morons.
Yeah, that's not one you want to put out there.
Yeah, I don't know why I
Yeah.
went for that one. Morons.
You went rough on yourself.
How was podcast with just the morons? Did you enjoy it?
I did. Beth has the thing where she says that she tries to talk to the podcast when she's not on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a few instances of that, especially when you started discussing if I would have a chainsaw or do I have a chainsaw.
Oh, I was
What
really
type of
hoping.
what type of chainsaw I would have. I do not have a chainsaw.
Yet.
Aw.
I live in like suburban San Antonio where one is not needed.
Oh yeah, you don't
Um,
have trees, do you?
I
He's
do
like
have trees.
The mesquite.
Now, I do have trees. I do have, what Beth said that I would have an electric chainsaw, which probably I would with like a battery pack,
Mhm.
because I do have two different styles of hedge trimmers, because I have like hedges that are, they don't need like a chainsaw. Like I'm not chopping down like an actual tree or anything like that, but I have hedge trimmers I have probably about like 10-foot tall sage bushes.
Mhm.
Texas sage bushes in the backyard, alongside the street on because my house is on the corner, and I have I have a hedge trimmer for like the short hedges and the smaller hedges,
Mhm.
and then I have one that has like an extendo arm, and then it
Mm.
comes across at like a 90-degree angle, so I can just go straight across these giant. And then I can, the one tree's banging into the gutters. I have that, so I wanted to like. Beth was probably the most accurate. If I were to have a chainsaw, it would probably be electric too, battery powered. So
Well, Commish, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm tired. I'm honestly very, very a lot of travel. And I normally sandbag a day of like before I go back to work. But yesterday I decided to get a new car, so
It was
I
work.
didn't have like that nap day. Like just do all the laundry and catch up everything. I was like, nah, let's go test drive a car, and let's go. It's kind of like it tied the trip together. Because I was torn between two vehicles, and the one vehicle I got on the trip to Flagstaff was one of the candidates. And after that trip, it basically kind of ruled it out, and I went with the other one. So
Welcome to the Volkswagen gang, Commish.
yes, true.
What if you'd rented the other one? Would that have ruled the other one out?
I don't think so.
Well, we'll find out. Tell me next week.
Pitt Girl, Pitt Girl, how are you?
We
It's
traveling?
Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Beth?
All is well. I am well. I hope you are well.
That seems ominous. Commish,
It is a little threatening.
you want to talk about your trip first, or do we want to talk about the Big Sky's reffing mistakes, which falls into your trip?
So let's kind of do the trip and then what happened, and then I'll stop at the mistake and then go through the game. Or
Okay, great.
I'll just do the run up on the trip, which is not too much. I'm gonna write about it in the Substack, so subscribe to it. Lord willing and time willing, I will have this out hopefully Friday or the beginning of next week on the Substack. Which I did one for my trip to New Mexico State in Las Cruces, and I did one to Bogatello. It normally took me about a week and a half after that, so hopefully I can get that going. And it's going to be a really long read, but should be a lot of fun. This one was a little bit weird because this time I didn't have anybody accompanying me, so it was just myself and basically myself and my thoughts. Flying from San Antonio to Phoenix, getting lost in the Phoenix airport, which the Phoenix airport was very strange to me. Like you had to go across like a bridge in the plane
Okay.
to get to your terminal, which was unique. There was like one that was like Terminal 3 is the John McCain terminal. Terminal 4 is like another politician. I forgot their name. I'm sorry. And then you have to cross, like, there's people coming into the, just driving in, and you're on a bridge on a plane, like basically taxiing to your gate.
They have this at DFW where you go over the road. Yes, I know this.
Yeah. So I was like, that, DFW has something like this. There's the weird name for the Phoenix airport for me. It was something. It was called like the Sky Harbor.
Yes.
Yeah, I always
Sky
liked that.
Harbor.
Yeah, and so it reminded me of like that. There was like the airplane movie, like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
I fucking
Yes,
love that
it's a
movie.
great
Okay, so that the whole time I'm in like flying in the Sky Harbor, I'm thinking of that movie. Do I remember what happened in that movie? No. All I remember is the poster. When I'm flying in here. So I get lost. I get to baggage claim. I'm able to. I get lost on the way to baggage claim because it's like, hey, take a right here, and then, this way is baggage claim. But immediately to your right is one of those like speed walkie thingies.
Yeah.
Like, the airport speed walker thingy. The only problem is before you get on the speed walker thingy, there's the left turn to go to baggage claim, which I missed. So I did the speed walkie thingy and I went all the way to like Terminal 3 the entire way. It was just, I was like, I got to the end and I'm like, where the hell is baggage claim? I was like, I need to circle back. And so I finally do that. Then I get to the rental car. The rental car place is like, I have to take a tram like 4 stops just to get to the rental car place. And I'm like, what? There's like this train. I'm on this train to the end of the earth of I see the Arizona Cardinals playing. I'm like, whatever. So I finally get there, get the rental car, and I'm like, okay, hopefully I get one of the vehicles that I am torn between, and I do get one. So I'll just go ahead and say this: it's a Mazda CX-50.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it's an all-wheel drive vehicle, and I'm gonna drive from Phoenix to Flagstaff. No, I'm looking at the drive. I'm like, hey, it's only like 2 hours and 10 minutes, but oh my God, was that hard driving? Because essentially I'm going from sea level in Phoenix all the way to like 7,000 feet elevation on this like I-17 up, which was ridiculous. And then it started to like rain in the middle of it, and then started to snow a little bit.
So I was
but
so
that-
excited when I saw this that not only was it going to be cold, but you were going to get some snow, which I have been longing for.
So I get into town. I'm like, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go straight to the Northern Arizona bookstore. I go on campus and I get to the bookstore, which is crazy because as soon as you get off of I-17, it dead ends in the Flagstaff. Basically, like you're right into like Flagstaff, Route 66. I mean, you're there. And so like the first exit, I'm there. I'm at Northern Arizona. I'm weaving through campus at like 15 miles an hour. And I get to the bookstore. I don't know where to park. I park in some sort of garage. I'm glad I didn't get towed. I got a little overexcited, and I bought a lot of stuff, which I had to return the next day. I bought way too much on the business account. Like I was like, geez, that was way too much. No, it was just too much. Like I was like, I could not rationalize how much money I spent.
What did you get, like a full like semester of tuition or something? Like
I mean, I bought one textbook, and it was just too much. And no, it's just they had like everything there, and I saw like the home field collection there. It was great. So as soon as I get all the stuff, I buy all the stuff, and I'm like, all of a sudden, here comes the snow, and I'm talking about it is snowing. I pop out of the bookstore. It's snowing. Now, I was supposed to be wearing a Northern Arizona hoodie, but the one that home field sent me was probably like 2 sizes too small on accident. So I couldn't even get my head in. And the only thing I'm wearing right now is the Centenary hoodie with a long sleeve shirt underneath it. So I got the Centenary hoodie that I got. I'm wearing a Shreveport hoodie in Flagstaff, Arizona. It's great. So it starts to snow. I like get there. I'm like, whatever. I gotta go get something to eat. And like Beth recommended something called Bigfoot Barbecue. I go find this place. It's downtown Flagstaff. The only problem is I can't find this place. I can't find it. So I'm looking on the map. I'm like, okay, it says it's here. There's nothing on the outside of this building that says it's here. Nothing. And then so I just go in, and it's like some weird coffee shop. And I'm like, okay. And then it turns out to be a bunch of other shops. And then the barbecue place is in the basement.
Okay.
Of this place.
Cryptid
I'm
barbecue.
in the basement barbecue. I get like a pulled pork sandwich because they said that whatever the thing was, I throw on like the spicy barbecue sauce. It was good stuff. I got you guys some stuff from that place.
Awesome.
I'll mail y'all later. But yeah, I go eat, and then I'm like, fine, I need to check into the hotel. I go check into the hotel. It's again still snowing. I'm like, I'm driving in snow. What the hell is going on? And apparently this was the first snow of the year. Like I brought the snow with me. Which is
it weren't the first snow of the year in Flagstaff.
When
but
you,
yes.
when you said that
of
you
the
were
season.
going, yeah.
Yeah.
When
of
you
the
said that you were
season.
going, you said when you were going, I'm like, oh, I think we might get snow. Oh boy, oh boy.
So I checked the weather, right? And it was just like it was like a 30 to 40% chance of snow. And I'm like, okay. And then it was supposed to be like Friday night overnight, and Saturday morning if it did. But no. It started like Friday morning. And so I was like, okay, fine. I go check in the hotel, and I get a DM from Parker, Stats of War. He's like, hey, go check out Mother Road Brewery. And I'm like, what the Mother Road? What kind of weird name is that? So I go to Mother Road Brewery, and I already had like one of their beers at the Bigfoot barbecue place. And it's a brewery. The thing is, like, I'm here by myself, right? And they're like, well, it's about a 30-minute wait. I'm like, oh, it's just me. And they're like, "Oh, we got one spot at the bar for you." And I'm like, "All right, perfect." I just walk right in, like I don't have to wait for anything. And this is after I bought a puffy coat from something called like
I'm about to
from
say,
like
did you
Big Five Sports or whatever.
end up buying a
Uh,
puffy coat?
I did.
Good,
I did get a puffy
Is
coat.
it like their brand of puffy coat, or is it a different brand of puffy coat?
It said something called Avalanche on it, so I don't know.
That sounds rugged.
It was like a sporting goods store
Yeah.
by the name of like Big Five Sporting Goods. It wasn't like a big chain that I've ever heard of. It may be something big in northern Arizona. I have no idea. But
I have a question backing up like one step.
okay.
Have you had cause to drive in significant amount of snow before ever?
No. I was trying to think of it. Like, no. So I'm driving this, like I'm going uphill in this Mazda CX-50, this all-wheel drive thing, and I'm like, it's not doing well. I'm not doing well. My arms are tired because you're like curving through these mountains and you're going uphill.
It's physical driving.
It's physical driving. It's there's 18-wheelers. They have restrictions when they can and can't pass.
Mm-hmm.
People driving like idiots, like trying to hit 80, and I'm like, I mean, we could never really hit the speed limit on the way up anyway, which was 75. But yeah,
not with that attitude, you can't.
I would have had a wreck if I tried.
Thank you for knowing your
everybody in front
limits
of
and
me-
not putting yourself in danger.
Yes.
No, I am not. Yeah, no, not at all. So I go to Mother Road. I get, I get some of the beers, which is good. I get the sampler, which is fantastic. Parker Fleming's brother-in-law is like a brewer at this place.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome.
So he recommended it. It was good stuff. Like every beer I had there was great. And I think I had like 5 different. That was the kind of like the beer of the trip. I was like, anything you got from Mother Road, we're going with it. So
how was drinking at altitude?
It was good. It was fine. It was just basically, it was a trip where there was no soda involved. It was like water, coffee, beer. That was it. That's all I had.
Essentials.
Either I had was water, coffee, beer. There was nothing, and I'm like, I kind of feel like I lost weight because I was hiking up hills all the time.
Yeah, those are the important liquids. I think you have made the right decision.
Water, coffee, beer. That was it. And I kept the carbs relatively high just to keep the energy going, even though my diet down here is like keep the carbs relatively low.
Right.
So that was great. I went, stayed up, watched a little bit of the games, and then just conked out because I was just so exhausted. And the fucking time zone really wrecked me. Like, it's like 2 hours behind everything. I'm like, this is bullshit. It's not 6 p.m. I want to go to bed.
Pacific time does wreck. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it was a mess. And I'm like, this game is on. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I wake up the next morning. I go to this place. It's like tourist home.
Okay.
And then I get like some sort of like green chili pork with some eggs for breakfast and like potatoes in it, house potatoes in it. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's NAU's homecoming weekend. So I'm like, oh God, I had no idea it was homecoming either. So a lot of fun. We go eat, and then I go eat and I go back to the hotel, get ready, and then I go for the game. The game I thought was going to start at 3 my time. It's 1 their time. So
yes,
like I'm really messed up. Like game day's on at like 9. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I mean, or like 8. Like, I mean, it's 7 a.m. I'm up. Game day's on. I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is just messing with. It's just like this. I had no concept.
Time was a mistake.
Time zones are also a mistake, but that's a whole other issue.
Well, it is important that you don't have the trains crashing into each other. But yes.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. No crashing into anything.
So you got to watch Northern Arizona host Idaho State for their homecoming.
Homecoming.
Which super excited about. Northern Arizona wins this thing. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about the reffing.
Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to Monica. She was the SID there. Granted, the press credentials for myself. She was like, Hey, go to Will Call. You'll see a giant lumberjack statue.
Yep.
And right behind the
She was
lumberjack
not joking.
statue. Which is good.
I love the Walkup Skydome so much. It's one of my favorite venues.
So I again, I think I'm gonna go just on like a weird dome tour now every year.
Okay.
It's gonna be another weird dome. That's what I'm gonna do. And so this is number 2. We'll Kimmy Dome. I'm coming. You know, I know you're calling. I'm coming. I just got to figure out a way to travel like 7 hours to get to you.
Mama's calling.
Mama's always calling. So definitely. But
You also gotta see Pitt Syracuse at the JMI.
of course. Like
I was just about to
Cuse-
say, let me know when you get to the Carrier Dome. I'll meet you there. That one's a convenient drive.
like the Carrier Dome, like I want to go see the Wood Dome in northern Michigan. I want to go see all the Dakota Domes, Fargo Dome, or the Alaris Center or whatever it's called.
I can't remember what it's called, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
North
I mean,
place.
Kimmy's coming. I mean, like any
Northern Iowa has one.
Any collegiate dome, I'm definitely going to check
Bitty,
that out.
bitty,
So,
bitty.
yeah.
Breaking news. Sam Houston wins 10-7. Bowl eligible Sam Houston.
Woo!
Hell yeah. I got that. I got the post.
Okay, you do
They're
it.
eligible for the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
They are now eligible for the Duke's Mayo Bowl. So
They should print their own shirts. I know that bowl season's not doing shirts, but they should print their own shirts.
So I get to the game and I meet Monica and she's like, I'm so glad to have you here. And I realize that I'm like the only national outlet, I guess, if you want to call us an outlet there.
Sure.
It's just basically Idaho State fan, their radio, the Big Sky broadcast, and like, you know, the Northern Arizona folks that are there naturally. And so I'm like the only like non associated with this game whatsoever. Yeah. So
You're the
I
ombudsman of this game, pretty much.
True. And this is what I tried to play because, you know, it's a Big
You
Sky
a neutral
game.
observer.
It's a Big Sky game. I went to Idaho State last year. I am at Northern Arizona this year. Now, these two teams are playing each other. I got to stay neutral. So guess what I'm going to wear? I'm going to wear my Big Sky Conference hoodie.
A classic.
And the refereeing in this game, I was like, oh my God. Wearing the hoodie, I was like, please don't play. I did not do this. I am not affiliated with the refs. Please, no. What, you know, just none of that. So Monica tells me, he's like, hey, they cut the wood after each touchdown. No field goal bullshit. Like, you don't get any wood cutting chainsaw action.
You don't get the wood for that.
Touchdown. You don't get the wood.
The only way I get wood is when there's a touchdown.
That is correct. You know, we're not shooting off cannons for field goals here.
I don't do that, okay?
We're
I only
only
shoot my
chopping the
cannon
wood.
off and cut the wood for touchdowns.
Monica, I'm sorry for Jordan's behavior here. If you're listening to
behavior.
I think they should have sandpaper for safety. Just like we'll sand it down. We won't cut
sand it
anything off.
down.
We'll sand it down.
Yeah.
Just really get
That's
like
what you're into.
Yeah, hey.
Fun thing
Oh my God.
I learned about the every time they slice like a piece off of the log,
Mhm.
like the athletic department owns the piece they slice off.
Okay. They sell those?
So like, no, I think they go to donors or something
Ah.
like that. And so I was like,
So
how do
they
I get one?
don't own the log. They own the pieces that come off the log.
Yes,
So like it
because
becomes athletic department property at the instant that.
after it's chopped off,
Okay.
yes, after it's sawed off. And so shout out to the NAU loggers. Became, I guess, good friends with them, along with I think Sierra was the one that was like fighting with the people online on our Instagram, which is fantastic. When I posted the video, so I'm waiting for the log to get cut. It's 0-0. Like both these teams don't have great defenses, like statistically. I'm hoping for a shootout, and like the first quarter is like scoreless. There's a turnover on downs. There's like nothing going on. I'm like, oh, really? Like I'm gonna come all the way here, and I'm not gonna get any fireworks. Like, and I got some fireworks. So NAU gets a field goal that's 3-0. Then they score a touchdown, and you know I get the video of them scoring the touchdown. It's like a 5-yard touchdown run, like straight through the middle, and everybody that's like media in the area is immediately over to the log.
Right.
Like, we just go over to where they're cutting it. Now, the thing that sucks about this is like they couldn't cut the log immediately. So since the extra point was being kicked towards them, they had to wait.
Okay.
Now, this was the infamous extra point that the Big Sky had to apologize for. So I'm over there by the log. I'm by that upright. I am essentially under the upright. And I see the kick, and I see it go wide. And I'm like, oh, he missed it. And he barely, like, hit the net. Like, it almost had that open area where the ambulance was.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish they would close that because it was close, but like I could see it was clearly on the right hand side, and I'm underneath it, and then I was like, "Oh, that's no good." And then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna cut the log," and then they're like, "Wait, hold on. There's a review." And so we had like a 3-minute review over an extra point, and then they called it good. I'm like, "Okay, it's good." Do my eyes deceive me? Has the elevation like warped my sight or whatever? Or something like this, and I'm like, okay, so it's
your eyeballs.
It bent my eyeballs and it ruined my whatever. I don't know. And I'm huffing in fumes of a chainsaw, whatever. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I never thought about using a gas chainsaw indoors. Maybe not like the best thing, but it's a big building.
They had the big gate open right next to it.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. I think in a big building, yes. In your own building, meaning your home, definitely don't do that.
Don't do that.
I love the idea that the San Franciscos have ruined your eyes and you can't see field goals anymore.
I can't do it. It's just like the elevation, the pine trees, everything is just warped. Everything, the time zone is just like I'm all messed up.
But the Big Sky came out and said the refs got it wrong. And it's wild because if you watch it, you can see it. I thought I had seen it wrong. I'm notoriously bad at seeing whether goal kicks go in or not. I just don't have the kind of depth perception on TV. You know how bad that is. Yeah. But the Big Sky came out and apologized for that one. Now, Commish, they didn't apologize for the second huge fuck up. How many timeouts did Idaho State get in the second half?
Apparently, Idaho State got 4.
Quattro.
They got an extra timeout. And so this game, these two schools, they're both 3 and 4. They're both fighting for their lives here, essentially, to have an outside chance to make the FCS playoffs. If they can get to like 7 and 4, they may get a shot and get like a bid at the end, which they got to run the table here. And both teams got to run the table. And both of these teams, like Northern Arizona just fired their coach last year. They got a new coach. Idaho State, again, they're working with Cody Hawkins and Dan Hawkins. His father is on the staff now too. So I kind of know both of these teams really well, like Big Sky wise, just because I we pay attention to the Big Sky Conference anyway. Right. And this is like a heated game. There was a point where Idaho State got an unnecessary roughness penalty on their own sideline on their bench, both North Arizona and that. And the Idaho State bench is right in front of the student section.
Oh, okay.
And so there were some things thrown. There was some Texas behavior by the Northern Arizona.
Let's not. That's Ole Miss behavior, you mean? Tennessee behavior.
You mean Tennessee behavior? Some
Tennessee
Texas behavior.
behavior.
How about this? Some UT behavior.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
There you go. So they got like 3 warnings on the day because that was nonstop. This first one was in the first quarter and it went throughout the entire game. So this was a great like hostile matchup. And with the refereeing, it was ridiculous. So at one point I retreated to be by the other side of the net, not next to the thing, to the open area, because again I'm cold. I'm just wearing a hoodie and a long sleeve. I probably should have brought the jacket with me, but I was like, I'm gonna be indoors. I'll be fine. I was not. I'm on the other side of the log, right next to the Coors Light chill zone, which they have like a Coors Light RV parked right next to the log, and it's a like picketed, fenced in area, and it's homecoming, so it looks like it's just like a bunch of old former players in there in this pen, just pounding Coors Light, just screaming at the refs. It was the opposite of the chill zone. They had one guy with like a beard, like an awesome like lumberjack style beard, but it was all gray. I thought about getting a picture with him, until he pulled out a knife and he was like, "Hey, can I sharpen my knife on this chainsaw sharpener thingy?" And I was like, "No, I'm gonna stay away from this guy now."
Especially wearing your big sky hoodie. Because clearly you love this conference and you love those reps.
I love this. I love the conference. I love the rest of them. Like I'm hanging out by I think the girl's name was Jillian. She was operating like a camera that could do the all 22 from the end zone. So basically she's filming the game so they can watch it after the game.
Okay.
For like the practices and stuff like that from the end zone style. So she has like this giant, like, it looked like a 30-foot long pole with like a small monitor, and she's like doing that the whole game, just to take that. And so I'm over there. I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna hang here. But these people are going nuts on these refs. So Idaho State, they said that Northern Arizona was taking all these timeouts, and I'm like, well, this doesn't make any sense. Why is NAU taking these timeouts? So basically, they got 4 timeouts plus the 2-minute. In this case,
they got an extra one for sure.
NAU had a touchdown pass taken off of the board due to an illegal man downfield. That could have ended the game, essentially. That would have gave them like a 2-possession lead with like less than 2 minutes left. They had another interception, which was wiped off. They had an interception of Idaho State, which was wiped off due to like a roughing the passer penalty, which the guy did put his hand on his head, so I could see that was a legit penalty. But the folks in the chill zone were not chill about that call. There was another instance where it appeared that it could have been a fumble, but they ruled the pass incomplete. So NAU essentially had all of this. They could have ended the game so many times. But Idaho State gets down to the, I think, 13-yard line. It's 4th and 2. On the 13 with like 10 seconds left in the game. They're down 4. Now, if that extra point was ruled correct, it's a 3-point game. They make a field goal. We're going to OT, right?
Right. This is a whole different thing.
But unfortunately, it's a 4-point game. They have to throw it up in the corner, throw it up in the corner of the end zone. It's slightly underthrown, and the Northern Arizona player makes a great play for an interception, and they win the game. They run across the field. They go hop in the band. There's like a bunch of like, NAU players like conducting the band. So you got to see that, which was awesome. I'm sure you would have appreciated that, but they're playing the fight song. They're doing the Peyton Manning thing, the UT thing, another UT thing here, the Peyton Manning conducting the band and whatnot. And I got to enjoy that game, which was great. It was a phenomenal experience. I appreciate Monica and her staff and all. I gave them so many stickers. I did not make them earn it, like somebody I know here.
Beth is so incredibly fun. Beth has been.
It was so funny.
It was so good. He's in my Discord now.
My family looks at me like I'm nuts.
I can imagine that.
I mean,
you got 2 people in the Discord from the last podcast. Mm-hmm. You got the guy with the garbage kicking Philadelphia
phenomenon. Yes, who has a VHS? Someone has a VHS.
He joined the Discord just to give us the picture.
Main channel, scroll up.
Yes.
Thank you, listener. I wasn't paying attention to the Discord, but thank you, listener.
Yeah, I think it was ADL. He sent an email. I didn't even respond to it. I had a draft going, but I was back at work today, so like I didn't get a chance to respond, but he joined the Discord. And then the other person that yelled sickos, I think it was like it looks like Ryan Hazard, the one that yelled sickos that Beth joined the Discord too after he got the sticker. So
there you go, Beth.
I mean, I'm a pretty big deal.
You are. So we have week 9 coming up, and we have some games to talk about that we're going to sort of get into here. We don't need to cover everything, but I do want to talk about our games of the week. First off, tonight we said we had Sam Houston FIU. Sam Houston wins that. UTEP is up right now with about 7 minutes left in the 4th, 10-7 over La Tech, but La Tech is driving. Tomorrow night, Liberty at Kennesaw State and Mitsu at Jacksonville State. So
did you see the dark chicken? The
yes,
Jacksonville State dark chicken?
The dark ass-kicking chicken. They have a black version now. Yes.
Yeah. It's like the blacked out version of the ass-kicking chicken, which is great. It looks good. I like it. It's kind of like you put the ass-kicking chicken in dark mode.
So it's
You
like
know
the
that this is
Shadow the Hedgehog, but for chicken.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
yes.
super edgy and carries a gun.
Should I assume it's all
Yes.
thighs and legs?
Ha 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 ha! I like that. It's good. It was funny. I like that.
Commish just looks disappointed in me.
No, I was like, I'm kind of hungry now.
Fair.
It's reasonable.
So, picking our game of the week this week has been, I mean, we've been going through and talking about this a little bit. The one that we're leaning towards the most, I think, and that people are leaning towards, I think, in general, is, of course, what's more iconic than Dodgers Yankees than USC and Rutgers.
I
We
mean,
flagged this one weeks ago.
Yeah,
no,
because
we
it's
had
at
a video
11. It
in, like,
kicks
August.
off at 11 o'clock Eastern.
Yes.
This is a monument to man's arrogance.
This is on Big Fox at
Yeah.
11 o'clock Eastern.
Oh my god.
Kicks off at 8 Pacific at the Coliseum. I feel like, well, Pitt Girl, we talked a little last time that I want you to be asleep before this game exists. I don't want you to even interact with this game.
So I don't go to bed that early. I will be awake until maybe 12:30. So more than likely. So the odds are very good that I will have either gone to bed or fallen asleep on my couch before halftime
Yeah.
of this game.
I can make a guarantee for myself. I will be passed out by this time. Either way, either result.
Who is going to be at this game? Who in California is going to be at this game? The USC band and cheerleaders?
Yeah. Rutgers. Are they bringing the band?
No, there's no way. There's absolutely no way.
But what if they
They're not
did?
bringing-
There's zero chance of that. I'll put money on it right now.
The Rutgers band?
They have a better chance of bringing the horse than bringing a band.
Right.
Also, you could have a white horse fight at this game with a horse that has a proven fighting track record.
Do you think Bon Jovi lives in LA and he will attend this game?
Mr. Jovi?
I don't think
There's-
Mr. Jovi will
There's
be
no way. There's no way Bon Jovi attends this game. Like even
What about Richie Sambora, the guitarist?
What about the ghost of Tony Soprano? I don't think
Oh,
he'll
he's
be there
there.
either.
I was going
No,
to
he
say that
will.
there has to be at least one Rutgers alumnus in Los Angeles.
There's probably several.
There must
But I
always
think
be
but-
a Rutgers
But they're all
alumni.
Yankees fans too. If you're a Rutgers fan in Los Angeles, I think
guarantee-
you're also a Yankees fan.
No,
So-
I feel like
No,
Rutgers fans have Mets energy.
Rutgers fans will refuse to support any of these teams because they remember when it was the Brooklyn Dodgers and they're still mad about it.
This
Oh,
is
that's
how
right.
I'm finding out
This is
who's
a
in the
Subway
World
Series.
Series this year.
There you go.
Rutgers fans are my nana.
So this is a spiritual Subway Series. I didn't realize that. Okay. I like this game for a lot of reasons. We have Rutgers, who is doing so well and then has slid off. And then you have USC, who is beach Purdue. So
So mean.
this to me is a game that I am very excited about in terms of what we do. We have picked a lot of
Oh.
Friday night games, but this has good Friday night juice. So this
Oh
also
my
is going to be on at the same time as a really good game, Boise State and UNLV.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk volleyball.
Commish?
Oh no! I was looking up notable alumni of Rutgers
Mr.
who could
Magoo?
be out in California.
Yes,
Is Mr. Magoo a Rutgers alum?
he is. He played for the team.
John DiMaggio, the voice of Bender,
Oh,
wow.
Futurama.
okay.
Yes, and now I'm picturing Bender as a Rutgers fan.
I can do that Photoshop. Beth, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the idea thread, please.
Bender as a
Sorry, I was
Rutgers
too busy
fan.
posting Mr. Magoo going to Rutgers.
Yeah, he played on
And,
the team.
and look, it fits. Bender could be a knight saying, "Bite my shiny metal ass."
That's true.
It
I
is
feel
true.
like Mr. Magoo is doing Rutgers fandom right because he doesn't really have to actually see the team play anymore.
Yes, that does help.
Bender just heavily drinks.
Also
something you
help.
can do. The other option, a couple other options we have at 11 p.m. Central on the next night, we do have
Yeah.
Nevada at Hawaii.
Yeah.
This is a classic Hawaii test, a classic Mountain West, a classic on the islands on the Team One app / Spectrum pay-per-view if you're on the islands.
Yeah, if you have like Fire TV or Roku, you can download the app on that. I think it works on like your Apple TV too. You could download the actual app and you could watch it on your TV. So if you have that, so you don't have to just, at one point, I a couple years ago, I'm watching these games on my actual phone.
Yes.
And that sometimes I fell asleep. So, holding
You
my
ever do that
phone.
thing when you have the phone, you have it in bed, and you're looking at your phone, and you fall asleep just long enough to drop it on your face? Is that just
Yes.
me? Okay, I've done that.
The last time I
have
was watching
adapted
something on the
to-
Team One app, I dropped my iPad on my face.
Oh, an iPad. That's a little more spicy. Yes.
This feels like a good time also to mention that friend of the show and pillar of the college football internet, LSUfootball.net, consistently tweets out a link that turns the app stream into a link that you can just open on your computer.
Yes, they're very good about
So,
that. Also, every once in a while, we have a link that you have to put into like VLC Media Player to make it work too. It's not a super easy way to watch this game, but it is possible.
I don't know. This is why I'm a side sleeper. Like if I drop something, it just falls on the pillow next to me.
Again, I've adapted by holding the phone to my side, and that's the only problem is I'm a side sleeper, and so if I do that, I'm in position to fall asleep already.
We do have on Saturday at 11 a.m. the South's oldest rivalry, North Carolina, Virginia. This gets Auburn and Georgia fans get real prickly about this one, about what it's called, but whatever, it's fine. This is only on the CW. North Carolina leads the series 65-59-4.
Okay. So wait, the South's oldest rivalry. What is the Auburn and Georgia one called?
Auburn, Georgia is the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
Okay.
And as the Auburn representative on this podcast, I have no problem with this game claiming to be the South's oldest rivalry. It's fine.
So the first game they played was in 1892.
And Auburn, Georgia's was?
I'm looking that up right now. So Auburn and Georgia.
1892 as well.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's go back.
February for Deep Souths.
Okay. So they both were 1892. The first one was October 22nd. So this is essentially a today.
Oh.
The anniversary of the first time that North Carolina and Virginia played, or tonight or whatever.
I'm going to guess the day because I assume they were not playing night football in 1892.
You have every fan out there with candles.
Or torch lamps with a good cleaning burning whale oil. Yes.
Were there cars back then? Probably not. Yeah, right. No,
I mean, yes, but not really.
Not what you're thinking about.
Polished reflectors, Jedediah. We can't see the 30.
It's
night game.
Hold up the hurricane lamp.
Yep.
An 1892 night game. It's I gotta. That's crazy. It'd be like a steampunk movie.
Watch Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, kids.
That's it. There you go. The first time that Auburn and Georgia played in 1892 was February 20th.
Yes.
1892.
A winter game.
So that was they were playing spring/winter football. Okay.
That was back when there wasn't an actual season either. Anything in the 1800s, we were just making shit up at that point.
Maybe they were just keeping people from dying of the fever and everything.
Fevers had colored names: scarlet, yellow, blue fever, green fever, black fever. I don't know. The mauve fever. The mauve fever sounds like a superhero. What about, so in this game, what I'm most interested in, of course, is the offensive play, right? I want to see Anthony Calandria running for his life. North Carolina, it just feels like they're out of gas this year, and that's fine. Virginia feels like this is a good one for them. I'm excited about this game.
The weird thing about North Carolina this year is it felt fine right until the James Madison game. Even you could pinpoint probably an actual time in the James Madison game, sometime in the second
Madison
quarter.
Crossed 50 points.
Yeah, because they opened by beating Minnesota, and it was they don't have Drake May anymore, and but they have some stuff, and they're still going to be a solid team. And then something happened in that James Madison game, and it's not like they've been blown out in their ACC games. They just haven't won any of them.
it looks like they're a wounded duck at this point. Like they're out of juice. Pitt Girl,
They're the Achilles Tar Heels.
it's good.
Beth's face.
That one hurt her. It physically hurt her. Pitt Girl,
Good,
tell me
I'm
a reason to
back, baby.
watch Auburn, Kentucky.
I deserve
Do
it.
you want to not have retinas?
This
Because
feels
this shit
like,
will burn your eyes.
you know
Don't
how
look at this.
during solar
Close your eyes,
eclipses
Mary,
you have
and-
those things where you have the pinhole viewers? I feel like you should only watch this game secondhand. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Get
You're
your
very
if you're
frustrated.
anywhere in the greater Northeast, get your eclipse goggles back out before you watch this game.
This is the one that I miss. That SEC is not on CBS anymore.
Oh yeah, this one really
Like,
does
I-
need the
I-
da
this
da
one-
da 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 da.
Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers.
The Auburn Football Tigers.
The Auburn Football Tigers. The Plainsmen take the field. They face Brock Vandergriff and Mark Stoops.
It looks like, according to NCAA Insider or collegefootballinsiders.com, the best unit on the field here is going to be Kentucky's defense, which I think we all sort of knew.
Yeah.
That's the strongest unit by far. Kentucky's offense is real bad.
I don't know why I had this thought. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Already. Stoops, I did it again.
I'm
My favorite album.
just gonna put that over
Yeah.
here.
Thank you.
I got some options for titles for this episode.
Mm. Stoops, I did it again.
This feels like it's going to be just a slog.
This game is giving 3-2. I'm not predicting 3-2 again, but like, especially if the weather is shitty, it has that energy.
Mm.
Oh man.
Projected points
Where
is
is
very low. Projected points is
where
very
is this
low
one?
here.
Where is it?
At Kroger.
In Kroger Field.
Mhm.
Okay. At night, prime time on the SEC network. Oh god. Like nighttime Kroger Field? Oh.
Ew, why? Why is this a night
Oh.
game? This is
Why
the
not?
nooniest noon game to ever exist.
No.
And yet,
This
Oh.
does feel like a very much a noon game.
The
Oh,
SEC
my
has
gosh.
decided that everyone needs to see this.
Is Lexington in Central or Eastern?
It's Central and Northern, I believe.
No, like time zone wise.
Oh, it is.
I think
I don't know.
I think
because I know Nashville's Central, but then like
Eastern.
Lexington's
And
like
It's
Eastern.
right-
Eastern.
Eastern.
It's Eastern.
It's Eastern. So it'd be 7:45 p.m. Eastern there. This is gonna go deep into the Lexington night.
gross.
For this game, there is gonna be something ridiculously stupid that happens, and somebody's gonna say that it wasn't their fault.
I do love that the SEC network is starting to do the old TBS thing where they have these 45 start times, because at
Yeah.
11:45 a.m. Arkansas at Mississippi State on the
Oh.
SEC
Okay.
network.
That's why. It's because this is also a noon game. It's fine.
Yeah,
There's
this
just-
is Jefferson Pilot as hell.
Yes.
Do you know what Jefferson Pilot was? Like Pitt Girl and Arthur?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So
like
this
like
is-
SEC Raycom.
Just
Yes.
basically think of the CW before the CW. Like this would just be on your local whatever Fox affiliate or I don't know. It was like it wasn't NBC because that was always Notre Dame, but like it'd be on your like local like network that wasn't that important with the
Yeah.
news.
Like
Right.
Yeah.
I am too young to remember the SEC version of this because by the time I was like following college football, SEC Network was around and they took over these games. But I do remember the ACC version of this because, of course, the ACC version lasted like a decade longer than the SEC one did.
Yes. So yeah, that's basically it. Like this is the Arkansas at Mississippi State at noon. This is the game. Like, why are you watching this game instead of watching like the big one on ABC, or CBS? I mean, you'd be like, why am I watching Mississippi State and Arkansas? This is honestly, I know they're 5-2 or 5-3.
They're
right?
they're way better than Mississippi State. We'll put it that way.
Mississippi State has been showing a little bit of feistiness lately. They put up a good fight against Georgia. But they're still struggling on the year. They're at home. They do have the dairy there.
Yes.
The creamery.
If you think that one's going to be a little too spicy for you, can I interest you in Northwestern and Iowa?
The chef today has prepared for you a glass of milk on ice.
So it's Northwestern at Iowa? Northwestern on the road.
Ira on the Big Ten Network.
Ira.
At 2:30. The thing about this one is that Iowa's offense has looked way better lately. They've been able to put points up. That's fine. Northwestern doesn't want to score, but also they want to make your life awful too. They want you to struggle against them. And the defenses are by far the best parts of this game. This game could be 6-3 very easily. If the Iowa offense cannot find their gear, if they cannot get the running game going, then this is going to turn into a quagmire. It's going to be delightful. I'm very excited about this.
There's a couple of games this week that make me think that we've been eating on the wrong part of the food pyramid up to this point in the year. And this is college football saying to us, you guys need more fiber in your diet. You're not getting enough dietary fiber. And that's what this game is.
Have you seen what the British eat as those? They don't have the frosted mini wheats. They have the original wheat biscuits, the giant.
Yes,
Weetabix. I love them.
It takes the whole bowl.
Yeah, it's just
Beth,
a giant thing.
The wheat Pop-Tart?
Yes. This is the only Pop-Tart I have ever had. The wheat Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tarts?
Yes.
Do Pop-Tarts have eggs in them?
I've never been sure, and so I haven't tried them. Because generally, when Pop-Tarts are handed to me, they're not handed to me with wrapper information.
Fair enough. Do Pop-Tarts.
I mean, if you ate one of these things, you'd just be so regular.
It took
your
me
body.
a while to figure out how to eat Weetabix. The first time I unwrapped it, I'm I don't know what to do.
They have a protein version that I can't fathom what they add to it to make it more protein filled.
I mean, maybe protein powder, whey or some shit.
Thank you for posting the exact picture I was going to post.
Oh, good. I'm glad. They have a chocolate version.
I was thinking of this one.
I mean,
the regular shredded wheat. So not
the regular shredded wheat, not the frosted
size.
mini wheats.
Well,
yes.
So shredded wheat used to come in just the wheat block, which that's how I ate them whenever I was a kid. Usually hot because I'm a psychopath. And then
what is wrong with you?
She said she was a psychopath. She just said it.
Christ.
And then my mom started to buy the spoon-sized shredded wheat, which was very exciting.
Yes. Again,
mini wheats are a latecomer into my life. I've been all big shredded wheat.
The frosted mini wheats, eating that, because your parents would be like, no, you can't have Cookie Crisp. You're going to have frosted mini wheats. But, you had to make sure that the frosting side was correctly on your tongue.
Yeah,
because if you just ate the dry side, it was the worst.
You were that was bad.
You had to flip it over to get that frosting because otherwise it was just disgusting.
Important update.
Yes.
Some Pop-Tarts have eggs.
Good.
Maybe not all of them. So check your ingredient labels. Also, fun fact, frosted mini wheats are not vegan or vegetarian.
Why? What? Do they have used tallow?
No, the frosting has gelatin.
Oh, okay. Speaking of food, rice at UConn. This gives UConn a chance to make a clean sweep of all the American Owls. They have beat Temple, they have beat FAU, and now they get a chance at Rice.
Let me give you a breaking news update real quick before we go ahead. Beep, 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 beep. La Tech is up 14-10. This is from Ralph Russo, formerly of the AP poll, now with The Athletic. This is from the commentator for the game. Pickles has to make some magic.
That is John Patrick Pickles II.
Hell yes.
Of the Tallahassee Pickleses. He is UTEP's backup, I believe.
Third string.
Third string. There we go.
Yes.
There are folks who are losing their mind. college football folks are losing their minds tonight because there are quarterbacks playing in these Conference USA games that they have never heard of. And these are people that do the research, that do the studying, that know ball, and they have never heard of these people. It's amazing.
I just keep saying Pickles. Like, that's all I really can tweet. It's like Pickles. And we get replies of Tommy Pickles, from Rugrats, and it's just great.
UConn had the weird schedule this year where they had 3 away games, 6 at home, and then 3 away. So we're in the middle of their home. What do you call a residency?
Homestand.
The residency.
It's a homestand.
Yes. Rice has been looking a lot better. This game should actually be a pretty good game. This is on CBS Sports Network at 2:30. This is like a pretty close one to me. This works for me as just a pretty good game on your 4th screen or so, wherever that is.
This should be good. And again, it's CBS SN, so we get the CBS music for this one.
I mean, we've been getting so much of it for UConn. It's been...
I feel like UConn is signed with CBS SN, unless they have that one random FCS game they play, and it's on like that UConn local network.
Oh, the local network, yeah. That has the best score bug of all time. Oh, yeah.
It does, and it gets you really confused.
There are some other ones here that maybe aren't our top 10, but we can mention. Utah State at Wyoming and New Mexico at Colorado State. The New Mexico at Colorado State game is on the Mountain West Plus stream only, like the San Jose State game was last week.
Yeah.
So it is by its nature very hard to find or different to find. Of these two, I'm probably slightly more interested in New Mexico, Colorado State, because those teams are sort of on the up on both of them. And I'm interested to see how that one matches up. Utah State, Wyoming is less interesting to me, except to watch Spencer Petras see how he does at altitude in Wyoming.
I think the first one that I'm more interested in is New Mexico because, I mean, Devin Dampier is electric to watch.
Right.
Like, a lot of fun to watch. Colorado State, they have Braden Fowler Nicolosi. They have capability on offense to score. So I feel like the Colorado State New Mexico game is going to be fireworks and points, which I think last week, New Mexico and Utah State, the over-under was 78.
Oh, they met that by the first.
They finished with 95
right
points total, so which is ridiculous. So let me see what we got here for that one. Even though I don't care about, like, I don't bet, but it's just fun to see what Vegas predicts.
They're saying 65.5, which that feels about right for New Mexico, Colorado State. They're giving 56.5 to Utah State and Wyoming.
Yeah, so Colorado State's 4-3, New Mexico's 3-4. Which, I mean, Bronco Mendenhall doing a great job offensively. The defense is lacking, but I mean, again, he's doing what he can do with what he's got out there in Albuquerque. So, I mean, he's got a star quarterback. He's got good offensive weapons. The defense, I mean, whatever. It's the Mountain West. Let's score some points. Let's win some games and shootouts. Colorado State, again, a little bit better, more depth-wise, I think. A little bit built because the coach has been there a little bit longer, but they need to get to a bowl game. So Colorado State really needs to win this one. Utah State and Wyoming, the one you're talking about there, like, Wyoming just does not have much offensively at all. And Utah State has everything offensively, but nothing defensively. If you look at this one on Parker's previews, it is just red everywhere. It's just like this is a top 10 game, but like, I don't know, man. It's in the elevation, and it's probably like one of those games that nobody's really going to pay attention to because both teams are 1-6. It just feels high for me. And again, it's on the CBS SN. It's like live from Laramie.
It's wild that it had to have been for some reason, but it's wild that the 1-5 v 1-5 game goes on the CBS Sports Network and New Mexico, Colorado State goes on the Mountain West Network. There had to have been a reason, but it's just wild. So let's do ad reads right now. As always, check out the Varsity app where our podcast is hosted. And every Saturday on the Varsity app, they have the College Football Blitz, which is 12 hours of college football red zone. They will send you around the country game after game so that you can keep up no matter where you are. If you check out our Twitter thread about the Varsity Network and the College Football Blitz, and you send a picture of what you're doing while you're listening to the Blitz, you might win a free koozie. So check that out. Check out our link tree in our Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky profiles for various discounts. Our Patreon for $5 a month. You get to join us in our Discord and talk to us about the weekly rating debates, live chat during games, see the research, submit ideas, all that kind of stuff. You also get access to Commish's Corner and Yes, Rah, 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 Yes, our paywall podcasts. Our merch store has over 50 items, including our Safeties and Punts 2024 shirts, which have been selling very well. Get those before November, because after that, depending on that, you have to see what kind of mood you're in. The Iowa color version of that is also doing very well. Check out our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitch, our Substack. Shout out to Message Board Geniuses Podcast. They got the places we refuse to go. And as always, the comfiest, softest collegiate apparel from Home Field. I'm wearing my Pitt shirt. I see a Pepperdine shirt. I see a Minnesota shirt.
You can't see them, but I am wearing the old school joggers.
Ooh, and Commish is wearing the LSU Tiger shirt. Use offer code yes, 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. And our Sickos hat showcase. This week it is Central Michigan and Miami, Ohio, I believe.
Yeah, we got some action with the great corduroy hats for both. Man, the Central Michigan one looks really sharp.
It does.
It does. And my brother-in-law is a Central Michigan fan. He alum. And my neighbor's a Central Michigan alum, so I may be buying 2 of those for Christmas gifts.
For the hats, as always, you don't have to have, if you bought before, it doesn't matter. You can use our offer code yes, yes, for 25% off the hats in our Sickos hat showcase.
Hey, Prime members, have you heard? You can listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcast. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcast to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Credit Karma is your evolved financial assistant, making managing your finances simpler and more tailored to you. Join us at creditkarma.com to start your personalized financial journey today and continue to grow with our innovations. Credit Karma. Evolve your finances.
We have 2 rivalry games this week, folks. 2 rivalry games that are going to be kind of weird. I'm not talking about Syracuse Pitt. We'll get there in a moment. That's a rivalry.
We're not talking about.
That's the biggest rivalry of the week.
Right.
The South's oldest rivalry?
No, I'm talking about Michigan State at Michigan.
Whoa.
Oh no, he has trouble with the snap. Disaster!
Is this going to be a game where the tunnel, or where we're at the stadium where the tunnel's bad?
The tunnel's bad.
They've elongated the tunnel.
There's only so much you can do, though. Also, This weekend is the Sunflower Showdown. Kansas State has won 15 of the last 15 Suns Flowers Showdowns. That's a lot. 15 is a lot, y'all.
In October?
So there's a reason for this, because rivalry week, Kansas State's playing Iowa State. Farmageddon is rivalry week this year. So that feels okay. I'm okay with that.
And it was last year too, and it was great because it was the snow Farmageddon.
Someone pointed out today that we could have Farmageddon last game of the season, Farmageddon conference championship game, Farmageddon first round playoff game, and Farmageddon is also the Ireland game next year.
That's so much Farmageddon.
That's a lot of Farmageddon.
Can we all go to that game?
Can we?
I think we're saving.
You got to save our pennies for Pitt, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
if they can, if this happens and there's 4 Farmageddons, we have to do like Farmageddon 1, 2, 3, and 4,
like their Led Zeppelin albums.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it like that, like Farmageddon 1, Farmageddon 2. You know,
Farmageddon 3, the Farmageddoning.
Yes. It should tell you something that even though Kansas State has won the last 15 Sunflowers Showdown, that Kansas still holds the series lead 61-51-5 because Kansas State has been so bad for so long. They'd have to win for another decade, basically, for this series to even out. I swore I'd lay off of Michigan last week, so I have nothing to say about Michigan State. I swore I'd just be like, I'm done with them.
Okay. So the Michigan State had their offensive going against Iowa, but they had to settle for 7 field goals.
Yes. Michigan State, you mean Michigan State, yes.
Michigan State, yeah. And the kicker was 6-7, which I actually watched that game when I was in Arizona. I watched the Iowa-Michigan State game because the hotel, you'd only get 3 channels. And fine, I'm watching Iowa-Michigan State. Let's go.
Okay.
He made 6 out of 7. He missed 1 from 55, but don't worry, he made his second chance from 55. And so I think Michigan State can move the ball a little bit, but I don't know. If Michigan can move the ball, it just seems this is going to be like a rock fight. This is going to be field goal heavy, and I'm predicting 18-15. I don't know who wins.
A real weird
Nothing
one.
but field goals. No, nothing but field goals. That's it. Nobody gets a touchdown. Everybody's kicking field goals.
Oklahoma State Baylor is going to be weird just because those are 2 teams that are on very different trajectories. Baylor's on the upswing. Baylor's on the upswing. They've been better. Oklahoma State has not been.
Baylor just put up 59 on Texas Tech last week out of nowhere.
Okay, but it's the Big 12. I couldn't tell you what's going on in the Big 12 any given day. Every weekend seems to be a random number generator.
Oklahoma State probably should have beat BYU. Probably should have. But BYU has this weird Provo magic that they keep, I'm like, how did we really get beat that bad? And BYU's always in the negative, but they somehow still win the game.
And Cal is always better than the teams they play, and they still lose the game too.
And they still lose the game too. So Cal is the polar opposite of BYU apparently.
If you had to pick a team that you think this year of the undefeateds or very good of those so undefeated teams that's been sort of selected by God to continue there, is it? Really? Because I think Iowa State is the one that feels like they are protected.
Well, I mean, I think the actual answer is Indiana, but
but Indiana's good.
Yeah, I know.
Indiana hasn't needed God. They're good enough.
They have Kirk
the
Cignetti.
divine intervened to make them good, though, is more where I'm getting at.
But Hope Cignetti.
You think that
Pitt has the reality distortion field.
Yeah,
they do.
Pitt has like this shit is scripted, it's plot where they're down and then at the last minute it's oh, we got to dig deep and come back. That's some movie stuff. It's Pitt and Joey Logano right now, where it's just I don't care what the actual math looks like. I don't care what's happening, but at the end of the day, they will be where they need to be. And that's the only thing that happens.
Syracuse is at Pitt on a Thursday night.
Yes.
Thursday night at Heinz Field at the ketchup bottle. It's going to be great.
So this, I remember last year, Arthur talked about trying to play up a big rivalry for this when he was working for the radio station. He was hey, no, we're not rivals. We just play a lot. And so the song by Big Pun, Still Not a Player, popped in my head. And it's we're not a rival. We just play a lot. Don't want to be a rival no more. I'm not a rival. I just play a lot.
I don't know any of the words I don't know who Big Pun is. I don't know what that song is.
You don't know about Joe
None of
and
these
Big
words are
Punisher.
in the Bible.
Yeah, none of these words are in the Bible.
Right.
Not in my testament.
My God, nobody knows about Big Pun.
Maybe that's in BYU's Bible. I've never read it.
Jesus. I am really that old? Nobody knows Big Punisher?
No.
Man.
I've heard the name. I'm not super familiar with the work though.
Which jerseys are they doing?
So, as far as I know, Pitt is wearing normal jerseys, but Pitt is honoring Larry Fitzgerald getting inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame at this game, and they are selling replica Dino Cat jerseys from when he played for Pitt. And the real old school Pitt heads know that those jerseys had the little tooth emblem at the point of the neck.
Okay,
and it's got the tooth on it. They did a good job with the replica. So
this game, right? When do you think the last time that Syracuse won in Pittsburgh was?
Oh,
It's been a long time.
I'm gonna guess early 2000s.
2014. Did they win in 2014?
So well they did not actually win in 2014. That was a Pitt win. That was
Okay.
in Pittsburgh. The answer is 2001. Syracuse beat Pitt 42-10. The coaches in that game were Walt Harris and Paul Pasqualoni. So my question here, right? I've said like a couple weeks ago, right? Like Syracuse hasn't beat Pitt in a year where they've been any good in a long time, where Pitt has been any good in a long time.
Okay.
This game has been pretty one-sided towards Pitt recently. Actually last year's game at Yankee Stadium is easily the biggest margin of victory Syracuse has had since that 2001 game. I, of course, will be at this game as I am at almost every Pitt Syracuse game, right? Like, I mean, this is the big rival for Pitt, big
Right.
game that I'm going to hype up. I'm going to travel, whether it's traveling to the Bronx, whether it's traveling to actual Syracuse, New York, whether it's just going downtown to see the Pitt Panthers. But this game is the closest Pitt home game to Halloween, right? It's going to be exactly a week before Halloween. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about wearing my costume to this game.
Yeah, as well you should. What's your costume?
I mean, you've seen it.
Oh, sexy
It's a
Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart.
So
Sexy Pop-Tart.
yeah, so I don't know how easy that's going to be to do all of the game day stuff, right? To tailgate, to even like go through security getting into the stadium, to just sit in my seat. But I think I'm going to try to at least, find out. I want to, I got the costume. I don't really have any like events or occasions this year. So
Well, then you have to. This has to be it.
yeah, I feel like
I
this
think
is
the
it.
Pop-Tart is an all-occasion piece of clothing. I don't know about you.
If you showed up to every Pitt game in the Pop-Tart, I don't think anyone would say anything. It could be the Pitt Tart. Actually, that just sounds like a loose woman at Pitt. Never mind.
I feel like that could work
I was just
if I
imagining
was
a
like in the
Pop-Tart
student
with
section.
fries in it, but yeah.
I feel like
coleslaw.
it'd be weird to wear a costume regularly to the seats in the section where I sit.
Why? Because everyone's old around you?
Not everyone's old, but like, I sit in the seats where like people have money and like, it's like like the premium
Wear a
like,
gold chain then.
experience or
Yeah,
Or a gold
something.
chain. Nice
Well,
shoes.
Don't look
No,
to be
you need to
embarrassed.
go. It needs to be Pittsburgh formal, so you need to fit a jersey on over top of your costume.
A Steelers
Yes.
jersey.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
at which point it's formal wear and you're fine.
I've worn a chain to a Pitt game before, only once, and I think that was enough.
A golden chain with, if you could make the front, if you could do like Pitt script in like frosting colors across the front, you could absolutely be the Pitt Pop-Tart and just show up to every game like that.
I'm trying to figure out
Candy has those
historically
great Pitt cookie molds.
She
What-
does.
what Steelers player would be the most appropriate to wear over the Pop-Tart to make it look like formal wear.
I mean, there are probably still some clearance Steelers Kenny Pickett jerseys around. I
Oh,
got
yeah.
one for $25 from the Steelers store in Breezewood. If you know, you know.
I would think that the best one would be the probably the throwback jersey that looked like
Okay.
bees.
The Bumblebee.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
that's a good one.
specifically the Limas Swede one because he was
Okay.
the one that said, "I'm a swag that bee."
Swag that be, yes.
I love it.
I mean, you have the Pop the Malu tart, no, maybe. Maybe there a little bit.
That Pop-Tart
Mhm.
has great hair.
It
I just love
does.
the idea, Arthur, of you becoming the person that comes to Pitt games in a Pop-Tart costume. That just becomes
Yeah.
your thing now.
You're just manifesting the Pop-Tart bowl at all times.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that's not going to happen. Like this is going to be a one-time only. Because okay, here's the thing. I have worn this costume for a little bit. Like I wore it while we were recording the podcast. I've
Right.
worn it around a little bit just to get familiar with it. Like it's not like the costume itself is uncomfortable, but it is hard to function in the costume. Like your movement is very inhibited. Your hands, like you don't have a large range of movement.
You're very limited. Very, very limited. Honestly. Honestly, really, this is kind of a personal favorite of mine. If you could wear like a Heath Miller jersey over the Pop-Tart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so you just, just instead of, just being an untoasted Pop-Tart, they would want to heat you,
Oh my god.
Heat.
Yo.
Right. I'll leave.
Other games that I don't know if we're talking about these, but I'll say them.
I was going to make a Chemo von Olhotten joke, but
Oh,
Jesus
nice.
Christ.
I went.
Maryland at Minnesota, Oregon State at Cal. At least they know who they're playing. It's the old X, and they've shown up. Bowling Green at Toledo, which should be a really great game because Bowling Green's been very fighty. The record doesn't show it, but I enjoy them. Toledo coming off
the
a
rivalry
loss.
game.
It is a rivalry game. Is there a trophy on this one?
It's the battle of an interstate that I messed up one time. Is it 25, 35?
75.
75?
Also
75? Okay.
apparently called the Black Swamp Showdown sometimes.
Oh,
Yes.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
love the fact that Toledo has a rocket on campus that is basically designed to just, land on Bowling Green's campus.
It's pointed at Bowling Green, yes.
It's holding at like the angle and everything. If it would launch, it would land on their campus.
Beth, tell me how you feel about West Virginia at Arizona. Like, what vibes at all do you have about this game?
can I ask an honest question?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course you can.
Why the fuck do they keep putting us on at night? Why does this keep happening?
It's 4 p.m. local.
I don't care.
Similarly, this is the same question as
Freaking
why
local
is Auburn, Kentucky a night game?
The thing is, this is our third week in a row being a night game. Why? And yet they keep moving us back. We were 8th and we were 7:30. Now we're what, 7?
7.
Yeah, we're moving back by half an hour. This is so
Slowly.
stupid.
Eventually,
look.
you'll get to noon.
Yeah,
You're
eventually.
slowly rolling down the mountain.
We should have been at noon like 2 weeks ago.
Can you believe that West Virginia and Arizona have never played?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I can
can
believe
because
that.
I think the first time we played Arizona State was in a bowl game a couple years ago. If I
I
recall
was going to say,
correctly.
this feels like a bowl game matchup to me,
It
but
does. But now it's a conference game.
Yeah,
This would be a bowl game that would be like, oh, these teams had okay years. They sort of fell off. This is like a 7-5 versus 6-6 bowl game.
yeah.
yeah.
This is we used to have Rich Rod Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
I would
And
rather we were
how
playing
else
Claremont
presented this
State if
game?
we're going to do that.
Exactly the same outcomes too. Rich Rod was equally as successful at West Virginia and Arizona. Everyone knows.
Just ask him.
This feels like this should have been like an Independence Bowl where both teams were 6-6.
Yeah, this should have been in Shreveport and in like an
Yeah.
ice storm.
Or maybe the Sun Bowl at one point in time.
Mm.
You know?
That would, yeah.
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 Making
Yeah,
West Virginia go to the Sun Bowl does feel like
Yeah.
punishment.
I mean, Pitt has been to the Sun Bowl
I
a
think West
few
Virginia
times.
did go to the Sun Bowl at one point.
Everyone's been.
Yeah.
Sun Bowl's been there so long that everyone's been at the Sun Bowl.
I feel
Pretty
like they
much.
would have had to because like Big East years, that was a Big East game.
1987, and they played at Oklahoma State. My dad has a
Perfect.
shirt from then, so okay, that makes sense.
Perfect Sun Bowl.
Conference game now.
Yeah, I don't have any like. So West Virginia's quarterback is looking like he's likely to be out for that game.
Right.
Like, we are going to be Garrett Greenless, I think. We were bad before. We were banged up, so watch this if you like pain, I suppose.
So
like-
you'll be watching it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an idiot. I will be. I will attend these things. I will watch them, but
Beth has very particular tastes.
Beth is chained to this thing. Like I am hooked to the prow of this sinking ship. So I'll see y'all at the bottom of the ocean. I'm more interested at this from like the Arizona perspective
Okay.
to see if Arizona can come up with something fun here. I do not think we are capable of fun, but maybe.
Arizona has. They have a quarterback and a wide receiver.
Yes. And
they don't.
That's why you need against us, because we don't have a secondary.
That could be a problem. That could be a problem. But Arizona's not necessarily in a great place either with their new head coach. And so
they just look like they're not clicking this year, which, I mean, new management, that makes total sense.
Okay, welcome to your get right game. You got this.
It could be in Tucson, and there's bats. So, yeah, I was.
Oh, maybe I'll watch for the bats.
Bats are cool.
I like bats.
Could be bats in the stadium.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks. I feel better now.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have a good time? Is the weather gonna be nice?
Let's see what the weather's going to be.
Yeah,
we gotta
this is
tell
important. I need to know what the weather is going to be.
So this is in Tucson on Saturday. Let's see what the projected weather is.
I will say, I think, Beth, for you, like, just where you're at, I think you're going to have real good weather for watching this game.
Yeah, at least you don't have to go to this one.
99 degrees.
Ew.
And partly sunny.
Ew.
Oh,
Saturday.
So instead of going to the Sun Bowl, we're just playing on the sun.
Yeah, that's true.
How is the existence of Arizona as a state legal? My column.
I honestly, when I got there and I was like, this, even though it was only 73, it was like 20, 25 mile an hour winds. And I was like, I didn't see any grass. I didn't see anything that I was just like, what is, I had to post the Bobby Hill meme. Like, this is
monument to man's hubris. Yes.
Yes. But then when I got up to Flagstaff, I was like, yeah, this place rocks. There's trees, there's forest, there's like weather, there's hills, there's views. And I'm like, yeah, Northern Arizona, amazing. Like Phoenix, I'm like, what are y'all doing down there?
Yeah. My Arizona experience has been the road from Las Vegas to Flagstaff and then the road from Flagstaff to Phoenix. And the only place that felt remotely normal to me in that was Flagstaff.
That makes sense.
I could have flew into Vegas.
Yeah, you could have driven from Vegas. I think it's like a 3-hour drive if I recall correctly.
Okay, no, Phoenix is 2. It's 4-hour drive.
Let's talk about our game of the weekend, or like not our game, but the game that I'm the most excited for. It's the Friday night 9:30 game. It's Boise State at UNLV.
Yeah, this one's just good, which is why it can't be our game of the week.
No, it can't be.
This is just going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a really great game. It sucks that it's on at the same time at the end of Game World of the World Series, but whatever. I don't watch baseball, so that's fine. Doesn't mess me up.
Do people is that a thing? Like, I mean, obviously I know people are going to watch baseball, but like, I feel like for a college football audience, like, I feel like there's not overlap there.
There is, in that people who like sports tend to be drawn to like the playoff games. The same reason I watch like NFL playoffs. I don't love the NFL. I don't really watch it during the season at all, but I'll watch playoff games if they're on. Same thing here.
Yeah.
I know people who watch playoff baseball.
Puddles is the middle of this Venn diagram.
I guess. I don't know. I'm just remembering how up in arms college football fans were about having to see baseball.
That was regular season baseball, though. Regular season baseball.
Yeah, I was like, well, that was also just like Aaron Judge hype. Who cares?
I think that was a fair amount of Yankees hate thrown in there for flavor.
Yes.
The Builder's Cove does in the Paw Patrol universe, because Aaron Judge shows up. Yeah, in an episode of Rebel and Crew.
Is he himself, or is he like a dog?
He's himself. They have to build him a baseball stadium.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I was just trying to say, like, the real event on Friday night is Pitt Louisville women's volleyball.
That is accurate.
So this
game. Let's talk about this game.
The Boise State UNLV game, again, I mentioned on the main timeline that this reminded me of the Nevada game in 2010, and Boise State fans immediately went into panic mode and broke down and started cursing at me. They have not gotten over that.
Why would you bring that back up?
Beth, how long does it take to get over a really bad loss that destroys a chance at a national title?
Never.
Market.
Still calibrating.
Okay, cool. So we still got another couple years on Boise State at least. Got it. I'm legitimately excited to see what happens in this game. It should be very high scoring. We get to see some of our favorite players play, including Ashton Jainty. We get to see basically what the best of G5 looks like right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing. This is not even like a hipster fun game. This is legitimately just a great game.
Yeah,
I love
just go watch
this matchup. I'm going to give you this. I'm not trying to do split zone duo here, but or like an actual serious pod. But I'm very curious about this game, just because again, this is the chance. Essentially, this is a shot for the team to make the actual playoff here.
Yes.
The winner of this game is probably going to be in the driver's seat for it. So you have Ashton Jeanty and the Boise State offensive line going up against Jackson Woodard and Jalen Catalon.
Yes.
Who are big, hard-hitting linebacker, safety, respectively. Like, they are legit defensive players, and those two players actually could not contain LaQuint Allen for Syracuse. They just got worn down over the time. I don't know if that's going to happen with Boise, and that I'm fascinated by UNLV's defense being able to keep up with the Boise State rushing attack. So that's going to be something that I can't wait to watch, and then have double screen with USC and Rutgers on the other.
That's going to be a fucking bit of whiplash.
That's muscle confusion for your brain.
Listeners,
That's right.
you may want to put something in between those two screens, like a rerun of a Big Bang Theory episode or something, so your eyes don't drift over too fast and you get whiplash between those.
Yeah, you'll stop in between. You'll be like, Penny.
Is Temple at
Penny.
East Carolina? Does
Penny.
East Carolina get the interim bump here? Can East Carolina beat Temple? A Temple who's won 2 games.
I was going to say, don't take away my hope for 3-win Temple.
I mean, they gotta get
triple.
They gotta get as many wins as letters in the word owl. So,
also, I have important news, and that is that I am now receiving emails from the Temple Athletic Department asking me to attend basketball games.
Oh,
okay.
Is John Chaney back?
I can't imagine how bad Utah at Houston's going to be. I refuse. I refuse to watch this game. I have my limit, and I think it's Utah at Houston for this year.
Oh, see, I'm like morbidly intrigued by this.
Okay. I'm glad you are.
Where did I have this? Okay, I gotta bump this higher. The preliminary draft has it at 22. Yeah, as soon as you said,
yeah, no, this needs to be higher.
It's gotta go. It's
this
gotta
is
go
a
higher.
science experiment.
This is going higher. Yes, way higher.
This game could legitimately be 10-7 at the end.
More fiber, more.
But
what is Utah Houston? What is this? Sam Houston?
No,
FIU?
because I would trust Sam Houston to have a little more fun. This is just not great. Utah can't score. Houston can't score.
Mm-hmm.
But neither of them. Utah, the best thing in this game is Utah's defense.
So we need special teams to step up for one of these teams.
Or it's
somebody needs to block a punt. Somebody needs to snap something over their head. Somebody needs a punt return, kick return, something.
You mean so it's not 3 hours of 22 guys staring at each other and going, "Arr!"
I mean, you said, is ECU going to get an interim bump? Maybe Utah can get that on their offensive side.
They did. That's just right. Well,
don't look at who they hired, but
yeah, I was about to say, don't look at who is the offensive coordinator.
Since we're now in the coaching carousel season, I want to reiterate that for a nominal fee, we will serve as coordinators or coach your team, with one of us taking each quarter, and you can pay us very reasonably, and even more reasonably to not coach your team.
Arthur, we'll do all special teams.
Arthur's all special teams.
Right. I think the rest of us, we could just trade it off and be fine. It couldn't be any worse for some of you guys.
Oh, it could be worse.
It will be way more exciting.
It would be way more exciting.
You're probably going to get Dion level coverage for our stupidity.
Commish's turn, and nothing but trick play quarter.
We are just flea flicker.
The whole quarter. It's here comes the double pass. Oh, it's flea flicker time.
The fourth double pass on this drive.
We're going to set the record for the most Statue of Liberty plays in an hour.
Oops, all flea flickers.
When it's my turn, we'll just be calling fullback dive.
Oh, yeah. See, for me, it's going to be all just 4 vert. We're not even running routes. The only route is straight down the field.
We stand a fullback here. Use the fullback.
Well, the fullback is going to be doing the flea flicking. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, I definitely.
BYU is going to UCF. BYU being anointed by God. So we'll see if that...
BYUCF. BYUCF. Yes.
And then Texas Tech is going to TCU. That's on Real Fox at 2:30.
Does anybody ever remember this commercial? Because I know nobody knew Big Pun from 2002.
Yeah.
But did anybody remember this commercial? It was like, at BASF, we make things so you don't have to. It is just like this horrible, like old commercial. And I was like, what the hell is BASF? It's like it was a commercial for like a company that didn't tell you what they did. It was like the first one I could ever remember.
Very business solutions for a digital age.
Yes, like in like the 80s and 90s at BASF, we make things, and then it's just like pictures of like things that people do, and it doesn't say what they make at all. And that's what I feel like BYUCF is. At BYUCF, we make things. We make football that you have no idea what's going to happen.
BYUCF sounds like someone who sponsored my local NPR station. Like, brought to you by BYUCF.
Business solutions for Utah's Hilton night managers.
Yes. Texas Tech and TCU. TCU has just been like flat out bad this year. And Texas Tech was looking fine until Baylor, of all people, came and rocked them. Weird one. Wake Forest at Stanford conference game?
Oh,
that's something we just do now. Wake Forest, congrats. You're flying across the country 4 time zones away.
Stanford, have fun with the slow mesh.
That slow mesh was so much fun. Commish, I got to find a video of this for you. Did you see this?
Oh, no, I watched it. I was watching
Wake has been doing this for years.
I don't slow mesh.
It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting.
I don't know why college football internet just noticed this now, because they've been doing it for years.
UConn like fans were just so upset. We're like, I can't, like, you tweeted, it was like, this is the slowest mesh ever. And I was like, UConn fans was like, we can't handle this. This is ridiculous. Like, they're just standing there. Get them.
When they walk together through the line, it's my favorite thing. It just, oh God, it's so delightful.
I love the slow mesh is incredible. And then like they're just holding it and they're there. Like, is he going to hand it off? And then he just throws it across the middle, like bam, 25 yards. I don't know.
Join me, my brother. Together we shall walk into the sea.
It also has a little bit of like, this play is buffering.
Yeah, it is. And the thing that I remember from like Brett McMurphy's things over the offseason about Dave Clawson.
Yeah.
His favorite band was Talking Heads.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
And so it for me, it's like, you know, as the days go by, you may find yourself
this is
in
not
the middle of a slow mesh. You may find yourself in a run pass option.
Man, the Big Ten isn't releasing those videos this year, are they?
No, they're not.
The Big Ten had all those videos last year that were like, what's your favorite band? What's your favorite food? And they started cutting coaches out. Coaches got fired.
Yeah, they got fired. It was great. I was like, give us the Scott Frost cut. Right. You know, I think they got tired after that.
Yeah,
they probably just got too many schools to film everyone.
Lincoln Riley said, I don't answer those questions. Why are you making the program? Why are you being mean to me? Stop being mean to me.
This is normal brisket.
No, you know what's funny?
Sorry about your weird brisket, Lincoln.
That's been like a sign. Like, he got upset about the brisket and he was like blocking people about the brisket, and then he goes to LA with an actual media market.
Such a soft person.
Maybe he should worry about some other blocking out there on the football field.
Greg Schiano's like that post-game hug if Rutgers wins. Greg Schiano going in for like the big hug. Yeah.
The funny thing is USC needs to win this to get back to 4-4.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
To get out from underwater, they need this.
Do I have to try and stay awake for this whole game?
No, do not.
Don't.
But I kind of feel like maybe I should.
We keep coming back to this game. It feels like it's almost
It does.
ordained.
The gravity of this game is
okay.
is
So
intense.
I'm
I
still
will.
laughing at
I will
Beach
stay
Purdue.
awake for this game if we make it the game of the week.
Oh,
I will stay awake.
old.
This
So
may
good.
involve me doing caffeine, but I will stay awake.
Oh no, Beth, don't do that.
Well, you will have Boise State and UNLV on at the same
That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's true.
The Battle for the Valley, 7 p.m. on Saturday, only on True TV. San Jose State at Fresno State. San Jose State's 5-2, and I cannot keep that bit of information in my head this year. San Jose State just slips from my brain.
Who is the head coach of San Jose State?
That is Kenneth Niumatalolo.
Okay, you remember that.
I do know
and
that.
Chip Kelly is the offensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Ohio State know that.
Mhm.
That's right. And San Jose State's 5-2.
Okay,
What?
gonna stick
They
that
are?
one.
Okay.
The
Yes,
other
they-
one is that Memphis is bowl eligible, and I definitely don't hold that piece of information in my head. They're 6-1.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't remember who they lost to.
The cool hipster game this
Navy.
week that
Oh, they lost to Navy like 58-44. Yes, that's right.
the cool hipster game of the week actually that Split Zone 2 has already called that is Tulane at North Texas. If I didn't have friends in town this weekend, I'd be at this game. I have friends in town, so unfortunately. But this is like the cool hipster game. Fucking Shahan did an article about how awesome North Texas's head coach is. He's from the Mike Leach tree and discovered Cam Ward when Cam Ward was running playing option football in San Antonio.
Mhm.
Also, remember that what is the guy's name? Is it Eric Morris? Is that his name at North Texas? Help me.
Not Chad Morris, right?
No, Eric Morris. His name is Eric Morris. Eric Morris
Okay.
was Incarnate Word head coach before GJ Kinney.
Yes.
Had a lot of good years there. He was also offensive coordinator at Wazoo for a bit.
Mhm.
No, sorry, at Tech. And so, but he's been part of that whole thing. He played for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders for a year. So he's really good. And then Shahan does an article about how great this guy is. And all of a sudden, fucking Purdue fans are our mentions going,
You were correct, by the way.
Ooh.
He was at Wazoo twice.
okay. Fucking Purdue fans are our mentions going like, oh, we could use a new coach soon. He looks pretty good. Get the fuck away. Stop that. Go.
Leave North Texas alone.
Shoot, go away. Every time someone writes a nice article about a G5 coach, I get twitchy. Because then they start disappearing.
Plenty of Big 12 jobs are gonna open up though. So
I know.
God,
That's good too.
please.
I right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
that was an alley oop there.
Thank you.
The Tecmo Bowl is this week. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech.
Yes.
Enter Sandman at 11 a.m. Central doesn't hit the same.
The brunch edition of Enter Sandman is such an interesting concept.
Right? Screaming exit
Like-
light, enter night at noon just does not.
As you sip your mimosa and eat your avocado toast.
Is that what they do in Blacksburg?
Seems right.
I was gonna say, how
No.
many people in Blacksburg do we think are like regular avocado eaters? And how
No.
many of them are just like so you're telling me this is a fruit?
The only
You don't think they can have an avocado in a lunch pail?
The only thing that I can that I remember from my trips down to Blacksburg to go see WVU play Virginia Tech is that my father would always get Chaos Sibling and I my own hotel room instead of like having any sort of parental supervision. And the one time we attempted to make coffee and we didn't know how to make coffee and we assumed that the coffee grounds packet could be used just like a hot chocolate packet.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
just
no.
put water on it. Yeah.
Oh no.
And
It's
yeah,
Turkish coffee. It's fine.
it was very chewy and Chaos Sibling was asleep by the second quarter of that game.
Take my hand. I'll never learn in the second quarter.
Sorry, Chaos Sibling.
Chaos Sibling Puddles is listening to this. Is like, what? You did what?
Oh, he knew.
Oh.
Because the whole next day she's like, guess what we had? We had coffee. Coffee.
Because she was chewing it.
Yeah. I think she was also, she was like 8 or 9. Like, we were.
Oh, okay. Jesus. Commish, does ULM get bowl eligible this week?
So
South Alabama?
Oh,
at
I really hate
Mobile?
okay, so it's on the road in Mobile. Brian Vincent has the head coach has good connections in the area. There's the battleship, the USS Alabama. I've been to Mobile. Can I make a bet here?
Yeah,
You may.
Yes.
If ULM gets this game, now I don't have to say that they are the
fair. Yes.
the birthplace of Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
I
I think this
can
is
just
fair.
go back
Yeah,
if they
absolutely
do
fair.
that. One note that I want to make here is that South Alabama is 0-4 on Saturdays this year. They are
Huh.
3-0 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This
This
game is on.
Saturday.
I'm praying that holds. The only thing is, like, in the bye week, I kept seeing like everybody celebrating the 5-1 start, and the paranoid me, I'm like, look, South Alabama beat ULM last year 55-7.
Mm-hmm.
To turn that around in a year and get a win is improbable, damn near impossible.
Different coaches and a lot of different players on both teams.
Also,
Yeah, I was
But-
gonna say
college
anything is
football.
possible.
But, again, me at the beginning of the year, ULM with 5 wins, like, I would have took that right away. Like,
Yep.
5, and I would have taken that. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like say yes or no here, but the only thing, I'm just gonna put that on the line. I want to take Mardi Gras back. Monroe Warhawks, bring Mardi Gras back to Louisiana here with a victory, please, please, please.
General roll call. Jordan, do you believe in ULM?
I do.
Okay, Pitt Girl, do you believe in ULM?
I do.
I believe in ULM. Commish, do you believe in ULM?
I can't. Like, I've been hurt too much.
Take our energy.
Arthur, do you
Arthur-
believe in ULM?
Listen, I'm already looking at bowl projections.
When they come to Frisco, I'm gonna be so excited.
And yeah, I can't do it. I can't.
That's
I can't
fine.
look
We'll do
ahead.
it for you.
It's fine. We'll believe
Y'all
for
do it.
you.
Here,
Y'all do it.
I'll
You
do
it.
a
I
bowl
just can't.
projection right now. Put ULM in the New Orleans Bowl.
Ooh.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be great. Definitely bring my dad to that one. That'd be awesome.
Do we know where Navy Notre Dame's being played?
I assume not at Navy.
Nope.
Probably it's a neutral site. Oh, is it?
It's a neutral site.
Are they playing it in Baltimore?
No.
No,
It
but
feels
you're on
like
the right
this
track.
would
You
be
have
in
an
the-
NFL
Field?
Stadium.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck. Why?
It's
Nope,
at
nope,
Met- it's at
nope.
MetLife.
JETS.
Why?
It's at
Jets.
MetLife. I don't know.
That's worse, actually. How is that somehow that's worse?
That's better than FedEx. That's better than, which is not FedEx anymore, but no one cares. Like, it's
I didn't care about it when it was FedEx.
no, I know what I'm saying. Like, that stadium is too shitty for anyone to even notice that they renamed
It
it.
is at least close to Annapolis, though.
Do you know where Notre Dame's playing? Army?
Oh, this one.
This one I thought I did know.
Oh, I know this. I love this.
Where are
Is
they
that-
playing, Arthur?
Is it Baltimore?
They are playing in one of the few stadiums besides Heinz Field that I have seen. Actually, the only stadium besides Heinz Field where I have seen multiple college football games.
Oh god, they're playing at Yankee
They're
Stadium.
playing at Yankee Stadium.
Oh man.
The Pinstripe Brawl.
Which is, so I feel like one of the
Well.
service academies gets Notre Dame. Is it
Yes.
Navy or Army?
Army.
Both.
Okay.
Whew.
Oh, and 0-2. Okay.
Here's why both would be funny. Because I think if only one of them gets Notre Dame, then like Notre Dame can still be propped up as a well, they're still like a good 9-win team, right? Like they'll probably win a lot of their other games the rest of the year. But like I feel like if Notre Dame loses both of these Service Academy games, then like you're looking at like, I don't know, 8-4 Notre Dame, and
We're done with them.
suddenly it goes from like, oh, what a big win
Mhm.
for Army and Navy to like, they weren't that good this year, I guess. Like they just
Yeah.
lose all the respect that they would have gained.
I'm gonna say this. Jordan, you say one of them gets Notre Dame?
I say one of them.
All right. So the one that gets Notre Dame loses to the other one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
time?
that feels right.
'Cause these teams are
So-
playing twice. They're playing back-to-back weeks.
Well, if that happens, yeah.
I'll
Before
say, I figure that Army gets them. Army beats Notre Dame, and then Navy beats Army in the Army-Navy game. That's how I feel.
Which
it
one
goes.
though?
The second one. The one that matters.
I mean, we're kind of looking at a point where like we call one the one that matters, but then the other one's the one that sets the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
But it's not the one that matters.
It's a wild year.
it is.
I don't believe I'm skipping around now. Just make sure we have enough time.
Yeah.
At this point, with Texas and Vandy, after Texas losing to Georgia, I don't care. Like this does not even faze me anymore. Sure, whatever.
Yeah. It doesn't have the juice anymore. I
It
mean, it does
doesn't.
for Vandy, but it does not have the same juice that it would have had if Texas had not gotten their ass beat last week.
Yeah, it's not a trap game. It's not
No.
a trap
No,
game.
it is not. The trap gun
Texas-
got springed.
Texas is gonna be mad.
Florida State at Miami. Florida State won the last three.
It would be really, really, really funny, like so funny,
Mhm.
if this is the game that finally sets off the fraud alarm for Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a few years since
This is-
Miami beat Florida State.
Yeah. This would be a good one to absolutely trip over themselves to come in on this one.
So I'm gonna say this: 2 years ago, Florida State beat the ever crap out of Miami
They
in
did.
Miami, and I don't know how many of the Miami players on that team are still there. I know the one that's in their 9th year was there, the tight end, but
The doctor.
I can see Miami like either doing the like idiotic thing or just handling business, doing like the ridiculous like close game. Like it's not going to be like a game that's like a 14-point game. It's either Miami blows them out or it's an idiotic close game that comes down to like one possession.
Commish, respectfully, what have we seen from this Miami team this season that makes us think that they're capable of handling their business?
The Florida game,
Okay,
the
fair
Ball
enough.
State game,
What what is your level of anxiety with this game, Commish?
it's a rivalry game, so you always have like that level of anxiety. The rivals like down. This is basically their bowl game, I would say, because I mean, they're almost mathematically eliminated for a bowl game at this point.
They're real close.
And again, and then you got everything going right for you. Like something stupid happens in this game, somebody gets hurt or something like that happens.
That's the worst outcome.
know,
is that you win this game,
Yeah.
you lose a skill player or something.
There's just like you always have that anxiety that something like that could
Mhm.
happen. Like your star quarterback gets knocked out in and then who you have as your backup. He got Reese Poffenbarger, which I mean that should be great, but from UAlbany, but really, I don't know if Florida State lays down
I don't think so.
and they keep fighting. I don't think so.
I don't think so in this
But
game. I think
Miami
you're
would
a very
have
fighty
to.
Florida State.
Miami would have to put them down to do it.
Yes.
And they did that with Florida, and that's an in-state rival. I know Miami's going to be up for it, but again, I can't like trust Miami's defense. Like they can't stop anybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest
Yeah.
problem is that Miami's defense has been very suspect.
It'd be very funny if this was the one that Florida State gets it, and like Mike Norvell could just like, yeah, we won. But
If Mike
I don't know what
Norvell,
that quarterback.
if Mike Norvell beats Miami and Florida in this season, okay, cool.
Here's my question: If Florida State wins this game, whose seat is hotter, Cristobal or Norvell?
Norvell. Still Norvell.
Cristobal is going to be like, if Miami loses this game, it's going to be really stupid. and that's a possibility. So can't rule anything out. It'd be hilarious. Another one I'm man, like the one after this that you have noted.
The winner of LSU Texas A&M is going to be in first place in the SEC outright.
Just like we all thought at the beginning of the season.
It's funny because I feel like LSU and A&M are two teams that people don't really take seriously at all in terms of like overall who's going to be there at the end. They are both teams that have losses. It's just their losses were out of conference.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's funny to me that given what USC looks like for LSU, we're like, well, thank goodness your loss is USC. But
doesn't matter at this point.
At a certain point, you just kind of have to start looking at numbers, and a lot of teams already have one loss. Some teams, look at you, Alabama, have 2 conference losses, and the schedule, the way it works out, like it's not always going to be balanced. And like obviously, like LSU, they still have to play Bama, A&M still has to play Texas, right? Like they will have like tough games that they'll have to win to actually make the conference championship game. But at a certain point, if like you're a game ahead of all of these other teams that people expect to be there, like, yeah, you could sneak your way in.
Hmm?
And that especially too, like, because let's say LSU, like, let's say they lose to Bama, like, well, Bama's not the one that you really got to worry about in the conference championship game, you know?
Well, and the way that the playoff seeding works, that becomes the nightmare scenario for conference commissioners. That you have somebody that sneaks into that game, wins it, and throws everything into chaos.
I'd love to start seeing bids. Like we have bid stealers.
Like
I would love that.
This game personally on a personal level.
Yeah.
This game, like A&M and LSU, this is like a state pride thing for me here.
Okay.
Like I don't like seeing A&M fans happy after this game. I just don't. I don't. It rubs me the wrong way. I hate it. I personally just like I can't deal with it.
Fair.
I'm sorry if you're an A&M fan. Listen to this. I just can't deal with like happy Aggie fans being happy that they beat LSU. I don't like it. I don't.
If you think I'm insufferable when we beat Oklahoma, y'all have never seen me when Texas beats A&M. That's a whole other thing.
I mean,
that hasn't happened for 10 years
in a long time.
So,
Longer
than that.
Yeah.
SMU at Duke. I feel like SMU Duke is the most like simpatico 2 fan bases. Really?
SMU and Miami.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
That's just hey, we got a mountain of cocaine. You want to try our mountain of cocaine? Like, yeah.
Hey, Cincinnati.
SMU is landlocked Miami.
Okay. Let's workshop that. I like that.
So Dallas was Miami Vice.
I mean, cool cars, lots of coke. Yeah. Cincinnati at Colorado is a conference game.
I think I sprained something thinking about that.
Quick, what's Cincinnati's record?
5-2.
Yeah, they won, so they're 5-2.
Damn.
What's Colorado's record?
5-2.
Oh my God.
That feels wrong and bad.
When everyone has
winner is bowl eligible.
Oh, that. I'm going to use a quote from you, Pitt Girl. Mm-hmm. Nebraska at Ohio State. Hey, you want to see a dead body? If Nebraska hangs with Ohio State, that actually might tell us how good Indiana is. This might be a good data point for Indiana.
Why do I feel Nebraska wins this game?
So every now and again.
I don't know why.
Ryan Day can't lose this game.
I don't know why I feel this is happening.
It's been a while since Ohio State had a real clunker.
Yeah, I mean, they don't lose. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that Ohio State doesn't lose clunkers. They lose big games. They don't lose clunkers.
But, like, Nebraska just gets killed 56-7. And then they beat Ohio. It makes no sense in the world, but why do I feel this is happening?
I don't know. I mean, I am of the opinion that Indiana is better than Ohio State, but like I still don't think that Nebraska gets it done here.
No, the thought just entered my head as soon as we talked about this. I don't know where that came from. That's
hey,
weird.
call
We
your shot. Like I did
Yeah.
it with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, sometimes you just have the vision. I mean, I still think back on the time that I called Kansas beating Texas in 2017 on the podcast I was on at the time, and everybody being like, or 2016, and
This is the
everybody being
first
like,
one.
really?
This was the first one that I had the inkling for, but last week I was way off on Biff and Navy. So who knows?
And then, of course, game day will be at Indiana and Washington. Indiana without their quarterback. But that maybe shouldn't matter against this Washington team. I don't know. The last clunker, by the way, that Ohio State lost was 2018 at Purdue.
Okay.
20-49. That's the last clunker they lost.
It feels like the game that Michigan State won on the walk-off field goal. Nebraska does that to them.
Okay.
Remember the Michigan
Yeah.
State kicker that ran the whole field like circle in his arm?
Mhm.
Like I feel like Nebraska. I just hit my hand on the doorknob. Ouch. But you know, I don't know why that came to mind. It doesn't make sense.
We need to get you a bigger
makes no sense.
office.
Yeah, we'll get you a bigger Clofus. Only 3 Big Sky games this week. We have Montana at Northern Colorado, Sac State at Idaho State, and Eastern Washington at Idaho. And folks, I think that's it.
Well, I got my movie here for you.
Oh, movie thing.
This week's movie that's on basic cable. So this is a channel I did not even know about, but I get it on YouTube TV. So if you have YouTube TV, you probably get the Sundance TV channel.
Okay.
So if last episode on the podcast, I referenced the movie Goodfellas, and you were like, I've never seen that movie. I don't get this reference. Well, at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday on the Sundance channel, they are airing Goodfellas. I do not know if this channel is one that has swearing. I feel like that would
heavily
be
edited Goodfellas is not your way to watch it, folks.
I feel like that would be a real sicko's experience to watch a version of Goodfellas where they've edited out the swear words, even if they just edit out fuck. Because like Goodfellas, I don't think it holds the record anymore, but when it came out, it set the record for most uses of fuck in a movie by a lot.
I feel
So
like
I
yeah.
hope you get like the edit for Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
That was real silly. I hope they did that for Goodfellas. I hope that's what you get to watch. 7:30 on Sundance TV channel. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Folks, I think that's what we got for tonight.
One more thing here. Kent State plays this week, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who are they playing?
Kent State. They're playing
Western Michigan, I thought.
Yeah, I think so.
At Western Michigan. Kent State owns the longest losing streak in Division I at 16.
Okay.
I am thinking hard about going to one of those midweek Maction Kent State games in November.
Oh, you gotta hit me up.
Yeah. Good call.
Definitely do that. Also, shout out to the Pioneer League. The Dayton Flyers take on Morehead State.
Okay. Okay, folks.
On Facebook.
That's what we got for today. We will see you guys. Okay. We will see you guys after this weekend. Have a good one.
Stoops, I did it again.